Today is the day where we discuss all the Danny looks like your dad comments. Let's go. Oh, we mow it, oh, we mow it, oh, we mow it, oh, we mow it in the jungle. Hey guys, so welcome to part 2 of Chats. This is part 2 of my Q&A video. I told you guys on Twitter and Instagram that I would be doing a Q&A video, and a bunch of you guys asked me a bunch of questions. If you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you should. Links down below. And if you didn't see part 1 of this video, I will link that down below as well so you can see part 1. Basically, I knew that the video was gonna be way too long because there were so many questions. So I decided to break it up into 2 parts, and I had tons of questions. Like, the majority of the questions were about Danny, so I decided to do part 2 strictly to the Danny related questions. You know, I just wanted to say thank you really quickly because I got so much nice feedback in the other Q&A video, like part 1 of this video. And I just want to say thank you so much because I really appreciate every nice thing that you guys tell me. I really appreciate it. And it was crazy how many of you guys feel me on the whole profile thing. So glad I'm not alone. By the way, I got a few comments telling me that I should do these cat chat videos like once a month. I was gonna do them like every few months, but if you guys want me to do cat chat related videos often, let me know, because I got a question in one of my recent videos to do a video on my anxiety and how I deal with anxiety. So if you want to see that, let me know, and then I will do a cat chats video on that. And I'll kind of make this like a series where I talk about personal things on my channel often, and they'll be my cat chat videos. So let me know if you like that idea down below. But anyway, enough rambling, let's get on to the questions. How did you and Danny meet? My best friend Amelia, who I've spoken about a couple times on my channel, I've just mentioned her a few times. She's been my best friend since 6th grade. I met her the first year of middle school. And Danny is her older stepbrother. Her father and Danny's mom married each other when they were already born, so they became stepbrother and sister, but she refers to him as her brother and he refers to her as his sister because they pretty much grew up together. So that is how I met Danny. He was the older brother of my best friend, and I was like in love with Danny since the moment I saw him. There's something about like an older brother of your friend that's just, I feel like a lot of people feel that way. Aren't you always like, ooh, your older brother is here? So yeah, that's how I met Danny. He was Amelia's older stepbrother, so I've known him since I was about 13 years old. What is the age difference between you and Danny? We are 7 years apart. Well, 7 years and a few months. Danny was 7 years old when I was born, and I get a lot of comments, a lot of beautiful comments telling me that Danny looks like my father. I get them a lot, and it really bothers me. I don't care about hate comments. Like, people can comment whatever they want and I don't care. It really rolls off my back. Like, oh, you have pointy ears, and oh my god, you talk so much. Like, comments like that don't bother me, but when I get comments saying that Danny looks like my dad, it irks me so bad. Like, it gets under my skin badly. And if a 7-year-old had a child, then yeah, maybe Danny could be my father. If 7-year-olds were having kids in the world, then sure, yeah, absolutely, of course. But I personally don't think he looks like my dad. Nobody in my family, none of my friends thinks that he looks like my dad. Obviously, you know, it shouldn't matter what people comment, but it really annoys me. I mean, it doesn't help that people think I look 12 years old. I think that has a lot to do with it. I don't think that Danny so much looks older. I think it's the fact that I look so young. You know, because I am 22 years old, but people think I'm like 16. I think that's a pretty big factor in that, I guess. I understand. I mean, people are entitled to their own opinions and whatever, but it's not like a crazy age difference. At least in my eyes, I really don't see it as a big deal. And besides, Danny plays his Xbox all day and we're always goofing around and laughing and making fun of each other. Like, we're a bunch of kids. I don't see him as like an older guy personally. I mean, whatever. People are gonna say whatever they want, so How did Danny propose? We went out to dinner. He like took me to dinner in a really nice restaurant in Miami, like really pretty, like dim lighting, very romantic. And then we went out to the beach, and it was nighttime, and it was actually freezing on the beach, which is weird because it was Miami. And he got down on one knee and said like the nicest thing. He gave me like a little speech, and it was so sweet. He was actually really nervous, like he couldn't even finish a sentence. I felt bad for him. He was like saying all these nice things, but you could tell he was like shaking in his voice. It was really sweet. I loved it because it was funny, but it was cute. How long have you been married? Well, well, I actually got married 2 months before my 19th birthday. I got married November 22nd, 2010. And my birthday is January 27th. So I got married 2 months before my 19th birthday. So I was 18 years old when I got married. Pretty much 19, but still. And I know that's like super shocking to everyone, and oh my god, that's way too young to get married. Oh my god, oh my god. Yes, yes, I know. But I was in a point in my life where it honestly happened at the perfect time. I was going through so many things at that point in my life, like when me and Danny were getting really serious and stuff. I was going through a lot in my life, like really crappy situations. I'm not saying that's why I got married. That's obviously not why I got married, but it was like Danny saved me in a way and just took me away from all of my negativity, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I remember I was sitting in a car with him when we were just dating, and he was like, when I come back from Afghanistan, I'm gonna ask you to marry me. And I was like, okay dude, yeah, sure. And he was like, no, seriously. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. He was like, no, for real. And he was serious, and I didn't believe him because we weren't dating for that long before we got married. We were together for about like a year before we got married, which is crazy, I know. But when you know, you know, okay? When you know, you know. And I've known Danny for a really long time. So it's not like I married a stranger, you know, I've known him, I've known his family for a long time. So yeah, that may be shocking to a lot of people, but it just worked. It worked. And now I have been married for almost 4 years. In November, we make 4 years of being married. So it's nice. I got a lot of questions about children. If I see any children in my future, any bundles of joys coming. Yeah, I definitely see kids in my future, hopefully, like God willing, you know, everything goes smoothly and I'm able to have children and everything is, you know, God willing, but just not anytime soon. I mean, I'm only 22 years old. I'm pretty young. I'm not saying that being a young mom is bad, because, you know, go on with your bad self. If you're a young mom, that's nice. But I'm still not in the point in my life where I feel like I can take care of someone. Like, I worry so much about Cordelius, like, on a daily basis that I cannot picture having to worry like that about a baby. It's tough. I mean, I see my sister and her 2 kids and, you know, the struggles and the obstacles that she goes through as a mother. And I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't think I'm ready for that just yet. And I know that everyone says you're never ready for kids, like you're never truly ready. And I believe that 100%, but I want to be semi-ready. And right now I really want to focus on YouTube. I kind of want to see where my life takes me, if YouTube will take me anywhere maybe in the future. I want to see where I'm going with my life before, you know, Danny and I make a little family or anything. And I want to travel, I really do. Not saying you can't travel with kids, you absolutely can, but I want to go to Paris, and I want to travel the United States, and I want to go across the globe, you know. I want to be able to do all those things before I have children. Of course, I would want to travel with my kids too, so they can experience that, but I just want to be stable in my mind and in my heart, you know, like, okay, I'm ready, it's time. I think I could do the whole kids thing now. I had a really good childhood growing up, like when I was a lot younger. We went to Disney once a year. You know, my dad worked really hard to maintain us. My mom never worked. I had a stay-at-home mom, you know, she did everything for me. I had a really good childhood, and my dad worked so hard for that. And I want to be able to give my kids, you know, the kind of childhood I had. I just think that that's fair. I want to be able to give them, not spoil them, but give them what they want. You want to go on vacation next week? Let's go on vacation next week. So yeah, I definitely see kids in my future, just not my super near future. If it happens before, then I will accept it with arms wide open. But as of right now, not right now. How do you deal with Danny's deployments? I just do. You just have to deal with them. That's the only thing I can say. I have been married for almost 4 years, and Danny has deployed 4 times. He's been to Afghanistan. We weren't married when he was in Afghanistan, but we were dating. So he's been into Afghanistan, Africa, Guam, and Spain. So since we've been together, he's been on 4 deployments. The first time he deployed, we had just gotten married. We got married in November, he deployed in December, and he deployed for 8 months instead of 6, which is the other times he's deployed for 6 months. But that first time, after we got married, he was deployed for 8 months. And it was like a traumatizing experience. But every time Danny deploys, I do go back to Miami to spend time with my family, because if not, I would go absolutely crazy by myself. Not saying I can't do it by myself, but at least I have the support of, you know, my dad, my sister, my mom, you know, my best friends. I have the support there in Miami with me. All I can tell you is, if you are a military spouse and your husband is about to go on deployment for the first time, surround yourself with positive people. Really, really good positive people. That is a major point. Seriously, when you surround yourself with really, really positive influences, you just feel more positive, and you feel a lot better. That's what I did. I kind of cut ties with people who were weighing me down, or friends that were weighing me down, and I surrounded myself with really, really good, loving, amazing friends. This helped so much more. The deployments went so much faster, and that's all I can tell you is surround yourself with good vibes. Is there anything Danny does that annoys you? Danny loves to wake me up for absolutely no reason. No reason at all. That is like my major thing, and I wish I wasn't like that, because I turn into Cruella de Vil when I'm asleep and somebody wakes me up. I'm like, like flame is coming out of my ears and like my nose and stuff. I hate to be woken up, and Danny wakes me up all the time for no reason. Just to wake me up. And it annoys me so bad. Someone asked, where was your first date with Danny? We actually went to a really great restaurant. We like to eat. It was in the Hard Rock in Miami. The restaurant is called Tattoo, I believe, yes. And it was amazing. I don't even remember what I ate. It was over 4 years ago, and we've only been there that one time. But my food was so incredibly good. And at the end of the dinner, they gave us like little tattoos, like little fake tattoos. And I still have them to this day. I kept them. I have like a memory box that I keep all my memories of Danny in, and I still have those little tattoos that they gave us. We put one on each other that night, and then I kept the other two that they gave us. So I don't know, it was a really, really good first date. It was a really good restaurant. Do you like being a military spouse? I really do. I really, really do. A lot of people from different countries think that the American military is like terrible, 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 which it's not something I'm gonna get into, because I don't want to start, you know, issues on this channel or on these comments. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I support the men and women that fight for this country. I support them 100%, because if it wasn't for them, I can't imagine what this country would look like. And they don't sacrifice their lives for themselves. They sacrifice their lives for the people living in this country. So I do love being a military spouse. I think it's an honor, really I do, because I'm so proud of Danny and what he does. Where is Danny from? Danny is actually from Miami as well. His parents are both Cuban, just like my parents are both Cuban. We were born and raised in the same place, and the majority of Miami is full of Hispanics. So yeah, he speaks Spanish just like I do. Can you show us pictures of your wedding? How was your wedding like? I have a lot of questions about my wedding. And I didn't have a wedding. I know that sounds bad, but let me explain. At the time that Danny and I got married, we didn't have money to afford a wedding. And since he lived in Mississippi and I lived in Miami, we didn't care how we got married or anything like that. We just wanted to be together already, because the distance was driving us both crazy. So we didn't have a wedding. I did take pictures. We did take like engagement pictures, and we're actually thinking about renting like a wedding dress and a tuxedo and taking like professional pictures so that I could have some pictures of me in a wedding dress. But at the time, we really couldn't. And we're thinking of having like on our 5-year anniversary, like when we've been together for 5 years, of having a wedding, of like renewing our vows and having like a small little celebration type of thing, just to renew our vows and stuff, to have a memory of some kind of wedding, you know what I mean? Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I know that that's a big deal for a lot of people. It's like, oh my god, you didn't have a wedding, that's crazy. But I didn't want a nice wedding. I wanted a nice marriage. So that was more important to me, not the wedding but the marriage. So I mean, so far so good. What is your wing order of Buffalo Wild Wings? Danny and I go to Buffalo Wild Wings every Friday, and we order the exact same thing every Friday. We get fried pickles and we get honey barbecue boneless wings and fries. And that's so bad for you, but we've been drinking a lot more water and we've been working out. How did your family react to you getting married so young? Surprisingly, my family reacted pretty well, surprisingly. I mean, to my face, they reacted well. They were probably like, oh my god, when I wasn't around. I kind of sprung this on my parents, like, hey, by the way, I'm getting married. And my parents were going through a divorce at that time, so it was a little bit weird, it was a little bit off. But my dad was just like, whatever makes you happy, you know. He was very, very supportive, which is shocking because I had like the world's most... Hey, Do you think all Zodiac astrology stuff is accurate? No, I don't. Because according to the Zodiac signs, I'm an Aquarius. Oh, I just slapped myself pretty hard there. And I am nothing like my sign. Absolutely nothing. Like, I read about Aquariuses and I'm like, what? No, like I am nothing like an Aquarius, which is really odd. And whatever. But anyway, according to the Zodiac sign, like a Taurus, which is what Danny is, his birthday is May 2nd. A Taurus and an Aquarius are like the world's worst match. Oh, going back to how my family reacted. Okay, I'm going off course here. They kind of understood and they accepted it. My mom is obsessed with Danny and my sister loves Danny, and it all turned out good. And my friends tell me all the time, like my friend Stephanie is always telling me, she's like, I cannot picture you with anybody else. Okay guys, so I'm gonna wrap this video up right here. It's probably long as well. Thank you guys so much for asking all these questions. If your question did not get answered in this video or the one I posted yesterday, don't worry, there will be more cat chats segments. Well, if you guys would like. Phone's still broken. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.